So this is the syllabus for Concepts of Physical Science, Summer 2022 online. My name is Wayne Trail. There's my email address, wayne.trail@swasu.edu. My office is on the SWASU campus at CPP 104, and there's my office phone number. I should tell you now, I'm spending some time off campus, in fact out of town this summer, and so I won't be as accessible via the office or that phone number as easily. You're free to drop by. Sometimes I'm in, usually in the middle of the week. But I think the most reliable way to access me is by email. If that becomes problematic, I'll just put my phone number out, my cell phone, and you guys can access me that way. Right now I'm setting up office hours for Monday through Thursday from 5:30 to 6:30. It's maybe temporary. I'll just put up Zoom links for this. I'll just tell you a little bit about me. I've been teaching at SWASU for about 20 years. I haven't taught this class in a while, and this is my first time online, so this will be a little bit of a new experience for both of us. I teach mostly physics and astronomy, and occasionally concepts of physical science, but I teach mostly physics majors classes. I grew up in New York City. I moved to Oklahoma in about 1983, so I think of myself as an Oklahoman. I've been here for just under 40 years. I had a few short stints in Colorado. I like cycling and running and those types of things. I do some swimming. I have other interests. I'm the sponsor of Physics Club at SWASU, and if you're on the campus, you should come to one of our meetings if you're at all interested in things like, we do some rocketry stuff. We entered a national rocketry competition and won it last year. It was really fun. And that's just gluing and shooting stuff into the air. It's pretty neat. We also do stuff with astronomy and telescopes, and you don't have to be a major. I know none of you are majors, but there's still people who are interested in that sort of thing. It's a hobby, and anybody can do it. It's fun. All right, well, that's enough about me. So getting back to the class, most of the information I'm going to be getting to you is through PowerPoint slides and videos of those PowerPoint slides. However, I have selected 4 textbooks. These are all free, available online at the links indicated. One's College Physics by Yaron. All these have just many authors. The OpenStax website provides free textbooks, and since this course covers a lot of different fields, I just pulled out a textbook for each one, and I'm sort of following those textbooks a little less mathematically in some cases, particularly in the physics case. But the astronomy we do in this class will be pretty close to what's in this astronomy book. The chemistry, we're just looking at like the first 3 chapters of this chemistry textbook, and you can look at those. Those will be pretty close to what we do. And this is a geology textbook from opengeology.org, and it seems to be pretty nice too, and I'm going to follow the first several chapters of it as well. This course is just going to cover a little bit of each of these topics. So I'll say more about that as we go. Your grades are determined as follows. You'll have quizzes roughly twice a week. The first week I'll give you one Wednesday and one Thursday. The course materials will be in modules. Hopefully you'll figure out I'll have a module for each week, I believe. I may make them smaller bites than that, but it should be pretty clear to you what you need to know through the modules. You'll also have discussions. So in each week there will be a discussion thread, and you'll have to comment on that or ask a question or something. I'll talk more about that in a minute. There are 3 one-hour exams. You'll do those online in a lockdown browser. The quizzes will be online, obviously. Everything will be online. And there'll be a final exam on the 27th, I think. It says down below. If you add those all up, that's 800 points in the class. And so if you want to work out your grade in advance and know what you need to get what, an A is 90% or better, so that'd be 720 points. A B is 640, and so on. I'll probably curve those a little bit, but maybe not. I don't make any promises. If you want to know exactly what you need to get, those are the numbers there for each grade. For studying, I'm going to have the PowerPoints in these little modules on Canvas. I may make a little summary video of that. But you should be able to, it should be pretty clear to you what you're doing each week, hopefully. I'll have the PowerPoint slides in there, and I'll have a link to a video that covers me discussing the PowerPoint slides. There will be questions and so forth interspersed into the PowerPoints that I'll ask. I often put terms in there that you need to know. There's just a lot of vocabulary in science, like in any field, where you have to learn the language of the field. And so, I usually put things like that in italics or boldface, but sometimes you just have to sort of be studying and learn the terms kind of as you go. The associated textbooks are often useful for this. You can look at the end of the chapters in the books, and they often have vocabulary words. And like I said, we'll be sort of marching through the first several chapters of at least the chemistry and the physics. We might bounce around in the astronomy and the geology, but you can still follow along in those as well. And they'll give you a little more in-depth look than I'm probably covering completely in the slides. Like I said, there'll be approximately 2 quizzes per week on Tuesday and Thursday. The first week they'll be on Wednesday and Thursday. The quizzes will have 5 questions. By the way, all of my quizzes and tests will be multiple choice, so there won't be any fill-in or any calculations you have to do where I will grade the calculation. You might have to do a calculation and pick an answer, but I won't be grading your raw work. So if you get 2 quizzes per week and we have 8 weeks, you'll have about maybe 14 quizzes or something. I'd say I'll drop at least your 3 lowest. So if you miss one, don't panic. I don't want to adjudicate excuses for missing quizzes. I'm allowing you to miss 3, probably 4, something like that. And so I'll just drop your 4 lowest ones. If you make zeros by not showing up a couple of times, it won't hurt you, as long as you're there for the rest of it. So discussion/activities. I haven't decided on any activities yet for this class, but I'm still working on it. Like I said, it's the first time I'm teaching it. But the discussions, there'll be a discussion thread corresponding to each week. And what I want you to do is participate in the discussion. And that means you can ask a question, or you can answer a question, or you can make a comment that's relevant to the material. I won't be super picky about that, but I want it to be sort of relevant to what we're discussing. It can be just a question from out of the blue that's not necessarily related to any other question. I don't want you to just grab one of the questions that I ask and ask it back in the discussion, unless you have some useful comment on it. So I get to be the judge. I'll try not to be too critical of that. I just want you to participate, really. I reserve the right to change if this isn't working right. I reserve the right to change it somehow. I ask you to please be kind and respectful when replying to other people's comments. You can be as mean as you want to mine, but be nice to your classmates. There are 3 one-hour exams in the course. Each will cover. This is not. I should. Let me just take this out while we're talking about it. I sort of changed the way I was doing this. So they'll cover the material that goes up to that exam. There'll probably be one every. I think down here I say 1 on week 3, week 5, and week 7, something like that. They'll have 50 questions approximately, and you'll need to use the lockdown browser for those. I won't make you use the lockdown browser for the quizzes. By the way, the quizzes you'll have, I don't know if I said that, you'll have about 10 minutes for each quiz, and there'll be about 5 questions. So in the exams, you'll have about 50 questions. They might be fewer than that, just depending on. Let me just say not more than 50 questions. How about that? And then we can work from there. I put that language in there. No makeup exams will be given. If you have to miss an exam and some catastrophe happens, contact me as soon as possible. That's what that's about. Comprehensive final exam will be given on Wednesday, July 27th. I can't give late or early finals. I'll probably give you a time window on that day. I'm not too particular about that, if you've got some serious conflict with that, let me know earlier rather than later. And if there are any changes on my end to that, I don't think there will be, but if there are, I'll let you know as soon as I can. Contacting me. I'll have Zooms. You can contact me via Zoom. If you need to talk to me personally somehow out of Zoom, I can arrange to contact with you. I should be pretty easy to get. The best way to get me, as I said at the top, is via email. If you have a disability or any other concerns that require help from me in some way, please contact me as soon as you can. Almost all of those things are done through the Dean of Students, and so you should probably contact the Dean of Students first and have them contact me, but I'm happy to hear what you have to say if you'd rather talk to me first or talk to me about it for any reason. Let's see. Okay, that's my overview of the class. I hope you stop by office hours and just talk to me, tell me what you're doing, why you're taking the class, and so on. I'd love to hear from you, and you can tell me what your hobbies are, and how excited you are to be joining Physics Club in the fall. All right. I think that's it.